Welcome, Outlaw. I have some links on the bottom of the description. Go ahead and take a look at them. You might be interested in them. Now go ahead and have a seat, and I'll start off today's story.
It's Just a Finger. Written by ViktorGreyWrites. Another day where something weird was left on my porch. Something that I am now forced to clean up. At first, it was nothing. Small tokens and trinkets. It only escalated from there. Last week it was small dead bugs, rodents, birds, then squirrels and gophers. Something seems to like me. Seems to think that I cannot provide for myself. I had to stop bile from spilling from my mouth, burning my throat as acid forced its way to my taste buds. This time, it was a finger. What the hell was I supposed to do? I had already told the police about it. They thought I was crazy. Crazier even when I left the dead animals on the porch for them to see. They threatened to charge me with crimes if I continued to kill animals myself. Myself! Can you believe it? What is the point of the police if they can help people in weird situations? I shook my head trying to calm myself. What did I do with a finger? I glanced down and saw the morning newspaper lying next to it. Eureka, perhaps. I tore out a loose page and wrapped a finger in it, glancing around the dark neighborhood. No one around. No one who could have dropped off the present. No one to see me accept the gift. No one that I could see, at least. What to do now? I can just throw it away. What if it is found and they begin to suspect me? Where the hell did a finger even come from? I continued to gag as I walked through my house, feet slightly sticking to my dirty floor. As I walked into the kitchen, I saw myself faced with two options. My eyes glanced back and forward. Garbage disposal? Freezer? What the hell? Am I thinking about this thing? Getting all of these items dropped off must be getting to my head. I blanked out for a moment and realized I was standing with the freezer door open. I paused. I guess I better keep it until I know what the hell is going on. I tossed it in the bag, slamming the door shut. I tried to forget about the finger as the day went by. Another painfully average day was spent working from home. I didn't get out much because of travel restrictions. Maybe that is why I keep getting deliveries. Deliveries that no one will want. What would it be next? What the hell could come next? I was able to get my work done. Barely. Stress still loomed over me, wondering what I would find the next morning. Night's rest did not come to me, and I found myself sleepless. I had to know. I slowly walked downstairs, creeping up to the front door. They were always left at the front door. Hold on. What? I left the front door unlocked. I never leave it unlocked. I ran over and quickly closed the deadbolt, peering through the peephole. Nothing. Pitch black darkness enveloped my front yard. I tried to flick on the porch light. It blinked on for a second before extinguishing itself from existence. Burnout. I was supposed to replace it weeks ago, but had been distracted by the ridiculousness of these offerings. Time seemed to crawl along. Nothing was happening outside and I could feel a yawn escaping my throat. I covered my mouth with my hands and tried to stay focused. I needed to find out what was happening. Needed to know so it could be over. As my thoughts flurrying my mind, I saw a dark figure coming from the corner of the yard. Hunched over and crawling over slowly to the porch. Something was in his mouth. I squinted my eyes, trying to see through the fisheye lens. It was an arm. The hand missing its pointer finger. What the hell? I could feel panic setting in, twisting my stomach into knots. One look at the figure carrying an arm and I wanted to flee. I was frozen in place. Either curiosity or fear prevented me from moving. The figure slowly slumped onto the porch, thumping the ground hard as it moved forward. Bum, bum, bum. Its movement smashed my now pounding heart. The figure was out of view before the lens, too low to be seen. I decided to move to the window. I slowly tiptoed to the window. As I peered through the blinds, the figure was gone, arm now laying on my porch. What was I supposed to do? The police will think that I did this. That I am just some sicko. Is it even safe to go out there? I had never seen the figure before. Maybe he didn't want to hurt me. I fell to my knees at the window, eyes wildly snapping back and forth as I fret over my next move. What to do? What to do? I decided to take action. I glanced one final time to determine that the figure was gone. I went to my front porch and opened it rapidly. My nose was immediately barraged by the smell of rotten garbage, interlaced with a sickeningly sweet smell of rotting meat. I pinched my nose hard and grabbed the arm, yanking it inside and slamming the front door. I ran into the kitchen and tossed the arm in the freezer. I was shaking as I went to the sink, turning on the hot water and beginning to scrub my arms and hands. I couldn't remove the smell of the limb. I felt sick, dizzy. I tried to walk away, but tripped and fell to the ground, this time vomiting on the floor. My head was spinning and I could not focus. What was next? First a finger, then an arm? Is there going to be a body tomorrow? I can deal with this. I felt my vision fading to black as I passed out unconscious, stress overwhelming me. I awoke to a sickening crunching sound. My eyes opened slowly, and I found myself staring at the bottom of the fridge. A jumping sound coming from behind me. My heart paused in my chest, and I felt a deep compression as I struggled to breathe. What the hell was behind me? I was shaking as the jumping stopped, and I could hear thumbs approaching me. Bum! 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 My heart pounded in my ears as something grabbed my shoulders and turned me onto my back. The figure jumped on top of my chest, knocking the wind from my lungs. It appeared to be a small child or a young adult, covered head to toe in dirt, mud, and blood. His matted hair was twisted and contorted across his body. My nose was once again barraged by the smell of rotting garbage. I tried not to vomit as he moved closer to my face, peering into my wide open eyes. He was heavy despite his small frame. Before I could move to shove him off, a second figure approached and grabbed my arms, shoving them down. I could barely see the second figure above me as the first one grabbed my face and pulled it close to his. Hard. The smell was overwhelming, and my nose was invaded by the scent of rotten meat coming from his mouth. He reached down to his side and pulled up the arm, now missing 2 fingers. Meat and skin mushy from being frozen and thaw. He broke off one of the fingers and began to push it down my mouth. I bit down hard, clenching my jaw. He punched me in the face until I fell limp. My head was ringing and my jaw loosened. He shoved a finger inside of my mouth and began forcing my teeth to open and close, chewing up the finger. I could feel rotting meat and skin trying to force their way down my throat, only to be met by my acid as I vomited. I tried to cough, choking from the lack of air. He held his hands over my mouth, trapping the bile and meat until I was forced to swallow to breathe. Tears were streaming down my eyes as I tried to scream with my mouth full of disgusting mush. My vision faded to black as I passed out from lack of oxygen. When I came to, the figures were gone. My kitchen was empty. I could taste raw meat and acid in my mouth, and my belly felt full. The thought made me vomit on the floor once again. When I whipped my mouth and eyes, I could see small shards of bone, blood, and skin. I vomited again. I looked up at the window in the kitchen. Daylight. I need to get help. I crawled to the front door. I was wheezing while trying to breathe. My throat was burning and tears were streaming down my face. I was barely able to reach up and pull it open. The sun blinded me as I crawled out onto the porch. I ran into a large object and a familiar scent invaded my nose. As my eyes adjusted to the sunlight, I heard one of my neighbors screaming. I was crawling on top of a body, missing an arm. As the neighbors ran away screaming, I lay down exhausted onto the stinking, rotting body. I glanced down between the wooden slats of my porch and saw 2 pairs of eyes staring back at me, light glinting off the smiles forming on their faces. I close my eyes, trying to avoid their gaze, as I hear whispers from underneath the porch. Hungry. Eat. I try to block out the sound of the voices as I hear sirens in the distance. I guess I am lucky the police ended up believing me. I found out later on it's only because I wasn't the only victim.
And that's today's story, Abla. Be safe out there. And like always, I see y'all on the wayside.